in all our experiences, what we have seen, we have been working with servers, which we know as data centers, data center. Now, these data center, oops, 1 minute, my mistake. Okay, here it is. We have been working with data centers. Now, data centers basically means involvement of number of racks of CPUs, physical boxes, and obviously getting a data center is very costly. We don't get servers very easily. That is one part, that is cost. Cost in terms of buying the server. Okay, let me do this like this. The second thing is maintaining the servers. We all know that there is a cycle of maintaining of servers with respect to with respect to its functionality, and the maintenance is done by the help of AMC, which is annual maintenance contract. To cut it short, basically, it involves a lot of cost. So for an organization, let's say from a domain of banking or manufacturing or telecom or any other organization we can pick off, which is not an IT organization, would basically, due to globalization, depends upon IT and servers. And the demand of the industry has become so dynamic that none of our customers really want to involve themselves in maintaining the IT structure in their premises. So there are two ways to get it done. Either outsource the particular IT domain or IT department to some other vendors, which is the major step which has been taken. But it again brings in itself the cost of server, because we are not, by outsourcing, we don't get rid of the server. Anyhow, we need to buy the server. Addressing this, the new concept of cloud came into picture, wherein the servers are basically virtualized and hosted, made available over HTTP protocol to various different customers. Here, customers means all the clients which we serve. What is the basic profit in this? First and foremost, the customer got rid of concentrating on IT. And the most important, the cost of buying server was nullified. Why? Because cloud comes with concept of pay as you go. Means you have to pay for what you have used, which is like a prepaid card. We do have certain other plans and other options of availing cloud services by different vendors that we would discuss after some time. But this concept of pay is as you go basically was liked by major customers, because if a customer X buys a server, then he or she needs to maintain it throughout the life cycle of the server. And let me tell you, my friend, the server utilization is not always 100% 24/7. We have something called business hours and we have something called non-business hours. Now imagine you have bought a server for 100 rupees. That's a hypothetical. We don't get server in 100 rupees. Yeah, we all know that. And only for 4 hours, let's say 2 o'clock afternoon, from 2 to 6 of any time zone is the business peak hour, wherein all your if I speak about in form of economy or the cost which has been spent to buy that server, that cost is extracted or used only for 4 hours. What about rest of the 20 hours? The problem is we have already paid for the server. That means for the rest of the 20 hours, whatever amount we have paid, has just gone into air, wasted. Imagine if we would have had a service wherein we would have got the leverage of only paying for what we have used. The rest of the amount we could have used in the business for our growth, for our employees' growth, right? It would add on to our profit margins. Cloud sensed this particular demand of the customer, and this demand of the customer has not really come back, say for the past 1 year or 2 years. This has been in demand for many years. The only thing is that the virtualization and the cloud concept started coming in from the year of 2006, when Amazon Web Services really boomed the market. What happens is that you basically outsource, not only outsource, you tie up a contract with any of your customer tie up with any of the vendor, and basically Amazon. I'll tell you why Amazon. And they host all your applications onto cloud. But the most important thing is cloud is of 3 types. What are those? First, private cloud. Second, public cloud. Third is hybrid cloud. What is private cloud? Private cloud basically means allocating a dedicated servers for your own self, for your own business, which means now dedication of the servers. Before you come up and ask that if we take a public cloud, will we not be able to make our application or do our business on the servers? Well, let me tell you, my friends, here dedication basically restricts itself to the usage of resources. Now, resources here are not human resources, but are CPU resources, memory resources, your network bandwidth. Now, a private cloud, if a customer takes up a private cloud, that means the network bandwidth, the amount of CPUs, 4, 6, 8, whatever, as per the business requirement, the amount of memory, 100 GB, 30 GB of RAM, that would be dedicated to the customer. Means if the customer, even if the customer is not basically using those resources to its fullest extent, that will not be shared with other vendors. And let me tell you, it has nothing to do with exposing your data. Okay, it has nothing to do with it. Just it is basically concerned and concentrated over the usage of the resources. That is the reason why private cloud is costly. And let me tell you, there has been a new notion developed with the customer that if my data is secured, even in public cloud, why should I pay more? So the next topic, which is our public cloud. Recapping from the private cloud, the word, mark my words, which I said, is restricting the resources. And I told you what resources are. Here, it is not so. Here, if you are using your resources, the resources would be with you as long as you are using it. Supposedly, if your business peak hour is over and now you have come down to a normalized state, then your extra resources, which means does not impacting your normal business flow, would be shared with other customers. That means the true sense of pay as you go is sensed in this. Okay. Then what is hybrid cloud? There were few customers like Avaya, or there are other customers like Reliance Jio, which is coming in, which wanted the mixture of benefits of private and public. Okay. That led to the generation or introduction of hybrid cloud, which has the features of public and private and not as costly as private. Okay. In short, if we happen to define cloud, cloud is basically virtualizing the servers over HTTP protocol. Virtualizing means these servers which we are able to access globally from anywhere we are, and not really bothering about having the physical servers on our premises, have a physical instances. Okay. Now, in order to ensure that every customer is benefited with the help of cloud, and to lower down the latency of the network and easy accessibility and hosting of the applications, different vendors came into play. One, Microsoft Azure. Second, AWS. Third, Oracle Cloud. Okay. There are two questions, like it would be great if the ID A559397 can introduce with a name, because it will help me to address that person. But the question asked is the cloud just a runtime source? Where does the data go once we are done with the usage of cloud server? The data very much resides in the cloud, sir. And Gangesh, what about data encryption and data security? Well, cloud, that is what I'm telling you. Different vendors have their own, have given the facility of data encryption and data security, and of which, if you really ask my advice and my preference, I would say AWS is the best as of today in the market. There is a reason. They have all full built APIs. Data encryption and security is something done through IDM, Identity Access Management. IDM is there in every cloud. Okay, Gangesh, was I able to answer your query? Never mind. Now, where was I? So, different vendors. Yes, we were speaking about AWS, Oracle Cloud, IBM, BlueMax. These are the different vendors, of which AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, basically has the most integration and capability to host n number of applications. Okay, to develop a server, for security, for mobility, for Hadoop, for workflows. Would you like to see something about AWS, guys? Yes or no? I want a collective response from you guys. Only one response, guys. Come up. Salesforce also, Manish. Everything, everything. Don't worry. Siebel, OBI, ODI, Informatica, DAC. Let me log in somewhere. Okay, OpenStack also, Manish. OpenStack. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. OpenStack is a cloud, and OpenStack basically is related with IaaS, infrastructure as on service. These are the characteristics of cloud. By the time the portal opens, cloud characteristics, or I would say cloud services, which are of 4 types. IaaS, I'm sorry, infrastructure as on service, platform as on service, software as on service, database as on service. Whereas, Manish, your OpenStack is a part of IaaS and lies underlean the path of basically your Microsoft Azure advantages and disadvantages, Gangesh. Microsoft Azure, yes, is a cloud, but its integration, the major drawback is its integration with different applications. See, Microsoft used its Azure to host Salesforce, but not every customer uses Salesforce. We have different BI and CRM tools. And if we speak about one of the most predominant CRM tool, which is still in the market, is Siebel. Microsoft Azure is not capable of hosting it. Third, you cannot customize the cloud according to your needs. The network speed of Microsoft Azure, the network bandwidth which it gives, is very less as compared to AWS and other servers. Okay. Oracle Cloud and IBM BlueMax are still in primitive stage. They are not full blown. They are not full developed. So really, they don't. Obviously, if they are not full developed, there is no point we can compare it. They're out of the league. So as of now, if we speak about full developed is Azure and AWS. Azure, you have the first disadvantages. Network speed is low. Incapable of integrating easily with other applications. Uneven distribution of data centers. Latency is high. Advantage, if you're using Salesforce, yes, you get it in very cheap. Advantage, it's economical. But if you use it for economic purpose, I would say that the performance you will get in Microsoft Azure, you'll not be satisfied. These are few of these. Okay, Gangesh? Now, this is basically AWS, Amazon Web Services, full known as Amazon Web Services. You have to create your own ID and you get free access also with some limitation. This is your Amazon cloud. And you know what? This particular area or console or web portal, whatever terminology every person can use, they might have different. Basically, in Amazon terminology is said to be or known as Amazon Management Console. Answering trying to answer everyone's question. How AWS was evolved? AWS was evolved in 2006. Basic reason for evolution, Manish, was AWS was to cater to big data and Hadoop. As we know, Amazon basically is into e-commerce site. Now, since it is an e-commerce site, Amazon basically was not able to handle the large data sets. And Amazon was never into IT industry wherein designing their own servers or Linux. What they did was they hosted their services by taking commodity servers of what do we say, decent configuration and hosting it for its own purpose. What it resulted, it firstly got easily integrated with Hadoop because they have different APIs, which I'll tell you. Okay, the data got secured. Eventually, the commodity servers and the platforms they used, platforms is the OS, was capable of even hosting other databases. Not only NoSQL, but Oracle, then your MySQL, MariaDB, other variety of databases, and got integrated with mobility also. That is the gaming zone. So what did Amazon thought about? Amazon basically, when they implemented on themselves and they got benefited, the revenue basically from 2000, when AWS came in 2000, from 2006 to 2008, the revenue rose to $2.4 billion, and now it is it's too much. It's in 34 or 40 billion dollars, and it's growing. There is no stoppage to it. But AWS was basically introduced to cater to big data. That was the idea of Amazon. Okay, Manish? Sujata, is my voice still breaking? Okay, and didn't got response from Sujata. I believe my voice is audible to you guys, right? Good. Now, AWS. This particular region, which is compute, under the section of compute and above storage and content delivery, is the first section which would allow you, and through with the help of which you will build your server. EC2, known as Elastic Compute Cloud. So why C2? You might have come down to know. You might be now able to connect to it. Is for building your servers. Servers in Amazon language is known as instances. Okay. Now within this, it basically provides you IaaS service and platform service. And how? Let me tell you. Okay. Yes, here it is. We build it through launch instance. This is your platform as on service. These are your basically OS, Amazon, Red Hat. You can see there are variety. You have Microsoft, you have Ubuntu, you have SUSE, you have Red Hat. There are so many possibilities and variety given by Amazon. You don't find it in Microsoft Azure. Okay. If you select one, these are your instance type, which is infrastructure as on service. So much. See, right from one CPU, 0.5 GB memory to about 1 Mbps, 10 Gbps, not 10 Gbps, 10 Mbps internet speed, network speed, till the largest 10 Gbps network, 244 GB and 32 CPUs. You can imagine what we can do with this, right? This is what we can configure our own network, build our subnet, security IAM role. Okay, someone asked me for security. This is how security is managed. Whether I want to host it over a public or a private, they give me an option. If I want to enable a cloud, a monitoring, your health checkup, guys, health checkup, they have this option. You want more storage, this is your new more storage. You can have storage as much as you want. And lastly, you can name. And your firewall, how you would like to connect to your system. So SSH is because it's a Linux system. If I would have used a Microsoft OS, it would have shown me RDP. I can also tune and restrict the access to the system with respect to IPs. I can give a certain range of IPs so that only machines falling on those range will be able to connect. I can use my IP, only my machine can connect. This is a firewall. These easy integrations and setting up security is really not possible in other cloud as of now. And this is what customer wants. Customer would really not like to bother themselves that they should log into the system, start scratching their head, start building network. It should be always easy to do. That is the reason why Amazon is leading. See, within a minute or two, I am able to build my server. Authentication, this is public private key authentication using which I can add more users, assign them passwords. Okay. What it says, your quota. Okay. I believe in this region, I have my quota already exhausted. I'll do it here. Every cloud like this, we have certain number of systems limit. which you can always exceed it. This is because if you take certain packages, right? But for customers, there is no limit. So I'll just build it again to you, guys. This is taking a long time. Let me do it over here. Here it is. And I will just do one thing. Go to EC2. Running instance is 20. Obviously, 20 is the limit. And I will, for now, I will have it. Even managing the instance, these are the running instances which has been made. I've made it. They're running, they're catering to few things. Some are test servers. Some are production servers. So I'm just closing down the test server. So once this is done, the server management, everything, see here, actions, everything is very easy to do. Now, if I build a system, now since I have only 19 running instance, I can quickly build a system. Configure instance, I build it, review and launch. Launch, I have this one, test 07, downloaded, launch. So quickly, this is launched. If we happen to build a server, what is the process? Raise an RFS, raise an RFP, arrange a PO, wait for 1 month, spend huge amount of money, and then we get one server. And something goes wrong, if space is not adequate, again go to the process. Here, just few minutes, your server is ready, well to go, everything in your hands. You really don't have to worry about it. This is the reason why cloud computing is so hot. Virtualization is the in trend. Virtualization is what everyone wants. Sarfaraz, that is also possible in cloud. I'll tell you how. This is particularly compute is for making multiple instances, distributed environment. This is for your storage apart from your disk, which is storage and content, S3, CloudFront, Elastic File System. So now, if you want to take a hot backup, you really need not take a hot backup within your instance, which we usually do, and waste the resources. We can put it into S3 and we'll have enough resources. We cut down to a short. We cut down the cost. Why? Because now in our capacitive analysis plan, we really don't have to think that buffer for hot backup. We have S3 in here. If I want to manage database along different regions connected without hiring a DBA, I don't want a database administrator to be hired. And I want my database to be managed, and so that I can do the development. Here is an answer, RDS. My database is not RDBMS. It's a NoSQL database. Okay, you have NoSQL options out here. You want to automate the data migration services? Well, yes, data migration services wherein you put in the source and the destination details. Data migration is done. And the most important thing is information data security, right? Identity access management is the security. wherein it will allow only to those users to whom you have given the access. How to deploy multi-user desktop application on cloud? Why? You build a server on cloud. Okay. How do you deploy a multi-user desktop application in your laptop or in your data center? You install it, you do the clustering, right, Prashant? And you host it. Fine. Same server is available over a cloud. Log into the server, install your application, do the clustering, and host it. Pretty easy, right? Guys, you should always think one thing. Costing is very less. Costing is very less. For messaging, Gangesh, AWS is using SNS. And let me tell you, Office 365 in Microsoft Azure is basically not that successful. You might disagree to me if you're using that as compared to SNS. Okay. It has SNS. If you speak about MQ, well, you have SQS. The reason is that SNS has an integration capability with n number of other products which Microsoft does not have. At a very low cost. Okay. Now, okay, example with respect to SNS. Now, I'll tell you. Let me see if I have any customer enrolled in here. Avaya, okay. Avaya, for its one business unit application, wherein it delivers its telecom services to Reliance. Not exactly telecom services, because ISP is Reliance, right? But it provides its services with respect to switches and hardware. They have done it on AWS. They have basically used AWS, tied up with the AWS to host their switches on which your Reliance Jio is using its application. Whenever one of the most simplest example which I can give is simple notification service basically is used to monitor or send messages or do campaign management with respect to what subscription you do. The simplest example is monitoring. Reliance Jio has rolled out its 4G Wi-Fi and not telecom, right? 4G Wi-Fi in various places across the country. Meerut, Mumbai, Indore, Gujarat, and I believe somewhere in South. They host these applications and manages these services through AWS Cloud. Whenever these services goes down, or if there is an alarming rate, they basically proactively get notified with the status. Second, if Reliance Jio has to basically send some campaign management, okay, example of a campaign management, pay rupees 200 and you get 4G with 45 GB data and 4500 minutes call. That is the campaign management slogan of Reliance Jio, which has been floating around different places. Either they would have taken a specific SMS gateway, paid for it, and started sending SMS. What did they do is they just moved down to AWS, used this SNS, and started sending the message. And let me tell you, the SMS gateway is automatically enabled with AWS. You really don't have to spend much on that gateway. They reduced their cost of expenditure by setting up a new platform for SMS gateway. Though Reliance Jio is a telecom company, but setting up a SMS gateway for a telecom company is a cost, overhead cost. They reduced it. That is one of the simplest example which I can give you, Jagannath. Okay. Now, I was telling something interesting. That was basically the security part, right? Over network. Microsoft Azure, guys, gives you the network security, but not in broadly and as efficient as AWS. Why? First and foremost, AWS has divided the region into 8 parts, and in these 8 parts, they have around 15 data centers. In Amazon terminology, it is known as availability zones. If I abbreviate it, short form is AZ. And we have a data center in India also, Mumbai. With the help of this diversely placed data center, Amazon is able to give high with low latency services, like high speed services, to different customers based in different locations. And this particular concept was divided by AWS, which other people are now taking in. Oracle Cloud is taking in, IBM Bluemax is taking in. They have different task centers. They have basically centralized the identity and security management system, which is not done in any of these Microsoft Azure or Oracle or your IBM Bluemax. But this has become, Amazon has become a basic example of them, and they are evolving. So Ganesh, if you come up and ask that, no, I can do this and this, go down to the inline structure of Microsoft Azure, you would see a concept of shared IDM, task center and DAS data centers going through different regional specific data center servers, and then providing the services to the customers. Now, by doing this, you limit the area of expansion. Now, since Amazon centralized it, any customer from any part of the world can take up services from a data center of opposite part without compromising the speed. Okay, this is not in any of the cloud. Networking means you can define your own IP address. The most important thing, have you ever thought that you want to take a part of a cloud services and you also want to keep some data in your own premises? And the objective is that my live data should be pumped into cloud on real-time basis. It's not possible anywhere. Amazon has, through storage gateway, it has a hybrid storage. If I want to serve or manage a mobile application for a telecom company, and I need to develop an application, or if I want to undergo, I follow a continuous development life cycle. Other cloud does not have APIs or management tools. Amazon has. Amazon has this tool, and let me tell you which tool it is. It is code deploy tool. Code commit, code deploy. Then it's your notification services, your workflows. And as I said, Amazon basically introduced for big data, it has a definite analytical section for big data. Elastic MapReduce, you have orchestration over the data driven search services and different tools, even for machine learning. You don't have it in any other cloud. So efficiently working. That is the reason why Amazon has become an example and people have started evolving it. I'm not saying that the state to which they have any vendor, any big have attained, they are not going to evolve. By seeing these APIs, believe me guys, they are evolving it. I was recently into a session with Oracle, okay, wherein they were asking my inputs for Oracle Cloud. And believe me, Amazon is their benchmark. In that session, I have people from Microsoft also. So they were also evolving it. So they were trying to understand how it happens. Since I am providing consulting services to different organizations and I'm trying to build their cloud, and that is how they are coming up. That is what is cloud. Now, if you happen to take this course, okay, if you happen to take this course, what all things you will learn? Cloud, you will learn how to build servers with a snap of your fingers. How do you manage resources and distributed systems? What is security? What is RDS? What is database as a service? What is software as a service? How Salesforce works, of how people or organizations are evolving their application to work on cloud. What is Internet of Things? Obviously, in this particular cloud, there are different modules. Person who is very much interested with infrastructure as a service would not really like to go into analytics. So we have something called SysOps. Person who wants to go into code development would really not bother about infrastructure or analytics. We have DevOps. Person who wants to know about analytics would concentrate on the analytical section. Anyhow, in all these three, few things which would be common is your EC2 and S3. People who really want to understand full cloud, this is AWS. So that is what was cloud in a nutshell. If you have any more questions, please let's shoot. It's not IaaA, Manish. It is IaaS, infrastructure as on service, which I showed you how many CPUs you want, how many RAM you want, network and everything. OpenStack basically is the inline middle tier of these structures. So they are the part of these instances services which you are getting. You know, bare metal, above the bare metal. Okay, Prashant asked, we are using shared hosting environment, whether we are able to use as a dedicated hosting. Yes, you can use it as a dedicated hosting, Prashant. You would have your dedicated tenancy, dedicated network, build your own hosting environment using EC2, or either you want your environment into be Windows or Linux, wherever. You can have your dedicated external storage and more storage, a monitoring system over the cluster, and then integrate it with wherever you want, along with your notification services. Any more questions? Okay, Manoj. The cost of this training would be sent to you by Scholar Pro. And if you guys have any questions with respect to cost, how training would happen, what all things, I would now ask the host, the organizer of this meeting, to pitch in and answer your questions. So I believe Rahul is there. Let me do it. Just Prashant, I'm just aligning the right person to answer these questions of yours. Okay, just 1 minute. So I believe people will be getting the mail on something of that. If there is no question, I would now end up the session, and it was nice taking up things. I hope you liked the brief introduction of cloud. Shashank, what did you miss? If you guys have missed this session, you would get the recordings. Yes, you'll get the recordings, Shashank. Yes, Manish, tell me what is your question? No, this session was Ananya. This session was free of cost, I believe. How it will benefit? Fine. Basically, see, I am an AWS specialized person. Okay, you go to AWS online, you'll have videos, you'll see those videos, Manish, and you'll just sleep. But here, I would tell you how it works. Ask your queries, prepare you for certifications, clear your doubts. That is the benefit. And obviously, once you get these things at a price which might be very low as compared to Amazon, what it charges, you can really think on it. Because you're getting an AWS specialized instructor with much more benefits, right? Growth patch in terms of industry career, Manish, career path. Well, it's huge. As of today, it's such a hot cake that if you know it, uh, there is no limit to growth path. In terms of salary, if you can understand, 70 to 80% of whatever your current salary is the minimum. It all depends how efficiently things go in. Whether it is a group training or one by one, I believe it would be a batch. Prashant? Okay, different level of certification. I believe, Manish, you might have seen the AWS site, but since you are asking, I will tell you it is architect, associate architect, solution architect, then there is sysops, DevOps, there is then there is professional. Yes, it includes user auth flow, MFA, PKI infra also. How these things are done through Amazon, Shashank, that I'll be telling you. Because these things, the basic concept of how they work would be known to you, I believe. Right? Any more questions, guys? Authorization Guys, first let me know if I am audible. Hello. Yeah. Now, guys, with respect to cost, batch, and everything would be mailed to you. So I directed to you to the right person, Scholars Pro. They would be able to tell you what is the cost, when will the batch start, what would be the content, how will things go. Okay. What would be the payment mode, how, what all things are associated with it. Okay. So as I was saying, if there are no more questions, I would end this session. Is it okay? Is it fine? Okay, great. Hope to see you soon.